freaking goodies like a mother over here, man. Goodies galore right now. This is like sick in the head goodies right now. This is ridiculous shit. Even for sick in the head people, goodies right here. Alright? Look at this shit, man. Look at this, man. Zah! Zah! Well, I think I already showed you guys these goodies already, so that doesn't count. But we got... Forget about it. Stay tuned, man. Stay tuned, alright? Hang in there. Hold on to your seats. I'm going to be opening up all this shit. This video is going to probably be an hour long. I hope not. Most likely it won't, but it could be, man, if we go over every freaking little detailed part. Let's see. I got a bunch of DDM stuff. I got a couple of my local hobby store goodies. Alright? And I got some Rovin RC, baby. Freaking goodies. Alright?
Oh, Nitro?
I was going to show you all my Baja platform project in the future, but I'm still waiting for parts of my Losi 5T. Most of you guys that know me well knows that I own...
I missed that guy. I still watch his videos, even though most of it's fifth scale now. That one, though, is 2 years old, so... Anyway, by the way, welcome, Nitro Nation. Welcome all Muggy Maniacs, Buggy Maniacs, Chuggy Maniacs, and, yeah, I guess fifth scale. And, of course, I mean, Monster Truck, I should say. Of course, fifth scale. Fifth scale, Insaniacs, you know, Rovins, 40cc's, 90cc's, RC Maxes, Bartolome Pipes, 5Bs, all that goodie, all the good shit, man. That's like next level. So anyway, I wasn't even gonna do a video, but you know, I've been watching. You know, I got off early today. I was gonna go do some brapping, but you know what? I had some things I wanted to get started on this body. Now that I found out they're sending me a second one, because I didn't start on it right away because I wasn't sure if they wanted to send it back to me. But, you know, as I told you guys, you know, they made good on, you know, these people. Where the hell's their paperwork? Force RC, good prices, they're good people, okay? They took care of it. They'll give me a brand new body coming, so I got another one coming sometime next week. So this is kind of a freebie. You know, so if I jack this one up, you know, this is kind of a warm-up or a tune-up before I do the next one. Because remember, this one has, well, I kind of tried to cover it in the corner. I'll explain what I've done if you guys are kind of checking it out. It's once you put the pictures on, you got to let it cure at least 24 hours. So I've done it today, and I'm not touching anything else on it until these are on here and dried for at least 24 hours. Then I got to figure out what colors I'm going to put as far as behind. I'm not going to do too many colors. I mean, I'll let you, I'm not even know what I'm going to do, but here, I'll tell you guys. Let me turn off this damn fan. Thing's noisy. Sorry about that. These are the colors. I think I might add black too. But, yeah. So, anyway, we'll get into that. I only got a couple things, so, what are we, 3:38? We'll say 30, 35 minutes, okay? But you know how that goes. Muggy Maniac starts babbling and gets sidetracked and starts being random and going all over the place, so we'll see. But the shorter I make this, because I got stuff that I still need to do right now, but I just want to stop, pump the brakes for a minute, and give some shout outs, give some props, and you know, there's some people that I need to lay the smackdown on, because I see a lot of things going on. I watch other people's videos that are subscribed, people that ask me questions, and I see all these comments. Okay, first off, well, you know, I'm not mad at anybody, and I don't want to be, and you know, to each his own, whatever. But let me just put this out there. If you're a guy that has less than a year experience in straight nitro, nothing else, I mean, it means you eat, sleep, breathe shit nitro for a year. Okay, over a year, okay, full on nitro, you know, you still have a hell of a lot to learn, but you're not. I don't really consider you a newbie, because a year is enough to get the kind of the basic fundamentals down. But if you're somebody that's less than a year, okay, you probably shouldn't be making comments about anything. And give you kudos for the tenacity and for, you know, to try to, but all you're doing is you're confusing people, because a lot of times people make comments, they don't know what the hell they're even talking about, okay? And you guys know who you are. I'm not picking on anybody, and it's not even one person. There's a few guys that I see do that. And it's like, again, what weight do you have behind, you know? And then I go to their channels and they got nothing going on, or they're running Traxxas bullshit. Like, come on, man. That's another thing that I see a lot, and it's not new to me, but even people I continue to see that when I see people that take, like, for instance, a quality motor, let's just say an Novarossi or a Pico or whatever, and they put it in a Traxxas, you gotta be, excuse my language, fucking kidding me. That's a tragedy. That makes me nauseous. Makes me sad at the same time. You know, they just don't know any better, you know, for the most part. And it's just, man, it's so sad. And that's why I do this, man. I just want to try to stop that shit, man. Don't be, I mean, you guys, and another thing too, because it was one thing I wanted to touch on, because I know there's other guys that are getting motors modded and getting into bigger motors. You can't just take, let's just say a .28, even stock, and just drop it in a Traxxas or drop it in an RTR without doing anything. You will have huge issues, huge headaches. You might be just the one guy that ends up saying fuck this and quits and goes to the E word because you don't know any better. But anyway, so that being said, you know what? Do your homework, do your research. There's a lot of preparation you got to do before you throw a bigger, and especially modified, that's a whole different level. I mean, talking stock, I took a stock .28 Novarossi Rex Legend, put it in this thing, which is an RTR, even though I did upgrades to it, but just the core of it. And that's the main thing, because you can put braces on it, change the shocks, change, you know, lighten up the, you know, different things, reinforce it and all that, and so yada yada, right? But it's the internals is what is going to really take the hit, okay? Your spur gears, your outer drive cups, your dog bones, your center drive train, all that shit. The 28.8 Rex Legend, man, even though all these upgrades I did to this, the Mammoth Muggy XTM, I still bent dog bones. And these are like 1.5 millimeters thicker than low C's, thicker than Mugens. All the drive chains and the dog bones that are on this XTM are 1.5 millimeters thicker than any standard truggy, whether it's low C, Techno, Mugen, X-Ray, Hop, I don't care. So all of them, all the truggies out there to date don't even have drivetrains and dog bones as thick as this thing. Trust me, I've compared them. So, and still with that, I still bent these damn things, man, with a stock 28. So if you're running a low C and it's stock, or you got some Traxxas and you're throwing in a even stock, you know, .28 like this, you're asking for headache. You're asking for problems. You're asking to, you know, fuck some shit up. Excuse my language. So anyway, enough of that. I'm just saying, if you have got a less than a year experience in nitro, you might want to just take notes, do your homework, do some studying. You're still a newbie. So, you know, it doesn't make sense for you to try to help out somebody. And like I said, I you know, commend you for making the effort, because that's the most important thing. So I'm not trying to be hard on anybody or a dick, but I'm calling how I see it. I'm not going to sugarcoat or candy coat or blow smoke up anybody's ass. You know how I am. I'm just going to call it how I see it. There's too many people that don't have enough depth and weight in nitro that shouldn't be trying to help out newbies, period. You're still a newbie yourself. Like I said, if you've got over a year of nitro experience, then go for it, man. Help these guys out. You know. But if you are a year or less in nitro, don't leave it to the guys that have been doing it a while. Okay? All right? Not, you know, I mean, I don't care. I mean, it's just there's too. That's what happens to nitro is people get the wrong information from guys that shouldn't even be saying anything because they don't have really a lot of experience. And am I saying, hey, I'm the master, I know everything? No, that's not what I'm saying at all. If I can't answer you something and give you the definite answer, I will tell you where to get it. That's what YouTube's for. You don't even need to watch me to learn anything. Nothing I'm saying is new. I didn't just come up with this shit or invent it. I'm not, you know, reinventing anything. I'm repeating a lot of what's already out there. And maybe just kind of bringing it to you in a way that you can understand it better. Because like I said before, you're not always going to get the same, you can have the same subject taught by a bunch of different guys, and it's maybe will only come through to you in a certain way. And I believe that more than anything. So, you know what I mean? If I help you out, fine. That's what I'm trying to do. If I don't know for sure, and I'm basing my stuff not just off what I hear also, but my own experience. Because I've been there, done that already. You know, and I'm still learning. So anyway, enough of that. You know, just, you know, if it doesn't apply what I just said, then let it fly. But if that applies to you and the shoe fits, then wear that shit, man. Okay? Just remember that. So that's all. Okay, so anyway, watching John's video while I'm wrenching. So this is what's going on with the paint job. Okay, update. Now this is what I got. Finally what I went with. Now before you put these pictures on here, see where I outlined it? What you do before, you put them wherever you want to put them. Okay, decide wherever you're going to put them. Put them, outline them on the outside with a Sharpie because this coating's going to peel off anyway. That way you know where it goes and how it fits in there. And also the biggest reason is because before you even put these pictures in here, you're going to need to take fine sandpaper or like a Chore Boy SOS pad and, you know, something fine, gritty, and you're going to have to rough up the areas that you're putting the pictures in. Otherwise it won't stick as well, okay? Which is what I did. So got the Joker on there on that side. You'll see when the paint gets on there, it's gonna, you know, I put this in there. There might be one other thing I might be adding, like a DC logo, kind of like this one, but another one I might put on the side. This one was cool. I got this out of the magazine. It's Batman Villains. Obviously the big one in the front. This was a little hard to do because it's so big it almost didn't fit. This is, if you know anything about comics, this is Bane. Him and Batman always went at it. This guy's a badass. I got Bane again, another one of him on the side. Bane's pretty cool. I like Bane. We got Two-Face over here. And then obviously the main one that's on here more than the others is the Joker, because I think Joker's probably, for me anyway, one of the most popular and common criminal that Batman was always, you know, going at it with this guy more than anybody. So I got this Joker on here. This came out okay. It's gonna look sick when this paint job's done. The biggest thing is when you press it in there, when you put the glue on there with the brush, because you put it on obviously this side and put it on the brush. When you push it in there, you gotta be careful, because if you press it around and move it around too much, you're gonna tear the comics. Just press it in and you kind of pinch it with your hands little bit by little bit. Obviously I'm gonna have to cut out a couple pieces in here. I'll do later, because the body post, it covered the holes. I'm gonna drill out these holes, or grind them out a little bit wider anyway, because I want my body to be, like I said before, be able to slide back and forth. So when I put different pipes in, the stinger's gonna be in different areas, longer pipes, shorter pipes. So instead of me having to cut a big old hole out, I can just do a medium-sized hole here on the side for the stinger, and with the body, where the body posts go in, making them oval, will make the body slide a little bit. Also, too, if you go to wreck it, the body will slide around instead of being tight on it and cracking. So, we got Joker up on the top over here. In the corner where that crease was, where the body was messed up, I put Sandman. That was, one that I did there like that. Yeah, you know, two-phase. So, I mean, that's what I got. I don't want to put too many of them on here. I don't want to just clog it up with all of them. I was going to put Ivy on here and putting the girl in here with the guys, even though she's hot. I decided not to. Like I said, I might add one more little DC, but I want to keep room, too, to put Proline sticker. I got some Mugen stickers going on here. You know, outerwear stickers. There's a lot of the stuff that I use. You know, so I might have a Novarossi one, but I'm not sure. Anyway, so that's what I got so far. So this will sit for a day. And then hopefully tomorrow sometime I'll start doing the masking. I've got pinstriping masking. I think I'm going to do around the windows. The fluorescent color around all the windows. Window trim. Yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to do the paint. Something to think about. But anyway, Techno is ready to go. Techno is on deck, ready to rip. Techno, we got the same, pretty close to the same clutch setup as I was running on the Pico and the Mugen. 14 tooth, carbon, 2 shoes of carbon, 2 shoes are aluminum. Now the pipe, this is going to be something I've never tried because now that I have this 41032, this Pico pipe's a pretty nasty pipe. This is closer to an 086 pipe. Nasty. I like the way it sounds. Good power band, a lot of mid. I'm hoping this will bring up the low end a little bit more, make it a little bit more snappier. And we'll see. See how this pipe runs on this with the 41032 Novarossi header and the Pico. On the modified, badass Novarossi 20.8 Rex Legend in the house. So, and shout out to, you know, Raja, you know, doing his thing, keeping consistent on the videos. Mr. Za, Mr. Botagel, you know, heavy into the 5th scale, getting ready for drag racing coming up. Him and my boy Elite RC, you know, doing their drag racing thing. So, you know, watching John's videos, his older videos, man, I miss him doing them, man. And like everybody else, you know, he'll be back. You know, don't know when, but he'll be back. And you know, he still loves Nitro. It's just he's really busy with 5th scale right now. So, anyway. I made a comment on Raja's video. Some of you guys might have seen it. Some of you guys might not. You know, he was just, you know, and Raja is always, he's on point. You know, and I'm not trying to, you know, steal his thunder or anything like that. He knows that. Raja's my boy. And I learn a lot from that guy. And anyway, he was talking about the Associated and the Losi. You know, when... I mean, I talk about it all the time, Techno. I don't think I've ever really did a comparison. I think a little bits and pieces, but not, I mean, in depth. I haven't had them both long enough. You know, maybe upcoming here in the next, you know, few weeks or a couple months or whatever, I might do something like that and let you know what my take is on a Techno. And because I believe the Techno and the Mugen are 2 of the top notch, you know, platforms on the market, you know. Some will argue that, you know, whatever. And I'm not just talking about race-wise, I'm talking about bashing. I beat the hell out of these things, you know. I haven't, like, flew them in the air or anything yet, but that will be coming soon. A friend of mine's building a ramp. I can't wait. Hopefully it'll be done soon. And I'm thinking of just buying me a mini ramp or something to take to the park. There's just not a lot of places that I go bashing around here that have like any like big hills or stuff that I can jump. Although I think it's pretty impressive. I haven't seen it. You guys seen the last video. Tell me where you've seen somebody running a truggy or a buggy do a complete backflip. I mean, this thing, if you see it, it's at 836 on that last video I think I did, the running video. I nailed it, and it jumped up, and it jumped up off the ground, did a full backflip, rolled over and bounced around, and it, you know, luckily it landed on you know, top side. It didn't land on its upside down, it landed right side up, and I kept going. I was like, that wasn't the only time it did that. It did that plenty of times where it just flipped completely over. I mean, the Pico, whatever, like I said, I got the clutching, I think, is dialed in. The motor is pretty dialed in. Obviously, every time I take it out, I'm going to find adjustments, but the 8 plug that I'm running there, number 8, it's working fine. So yeah, the Pico and the way that the Mugen setup, man, I'm not changing anything. It's perfect. I mean, I can maybe gear. I might gear it up. I might go from a 14 to a 15 because it has way, obviously, way more bottom end than I really need. I want to get a little bit. It has a lot of top though too. This thing was screaming, but I would like to get a little bit more top end, and then sacrifice all the bottom end. Also, I can change the shims on it too. I mean, that's another thing I can mess with, and we'll get into the shimming thing. It's not for really newbies. Shimming is more for people that have been doing this a little bit longer. I'll touch on it another time. But anyway, so Techno's ready to rock and roll. We're going to wrap that this weekend. Mom's is coming out tomorrow morning, going to breakfast with Mom's and my aunt. Maybe I might rent it tomorrow. Depends how quickly we get done. But, with my mom, she wants to... I don't see her all the time, so when she comes out, we go shopping, we go hang out, sometimes we go to a movie. Although, I don't think the Avengers, and I want to see that new Joker movie that's coming out, none of those are out right now. There's not really nothing I want to see. So, maybe we'll just go eat and go run around for a little bit, and as long as the Muggy can get back here, in the afternoon, well, we might get some brapping, because I really want to, I got to get my brapping at least a couple times a week, man. Once a weekend is really hard for me, and I know you guys that aren't even running that much, man, I feel for you, man. My heart really aches for you, man, because that must be painful, man, to go through that. So, anyway, I can't wait till this body's done, because, then we got the superheroes over here, the Batman, Superman and all that. And then over here, we got the bad boys. We got the bad guys here. Yes, we do, people. We got the nasty boys. Mostly Joker and Bane. I got, Two-Face on there, and I got Sandman, but the main ones are Joker and Bane, those were mostly, I could have just did an all Joker, I guess, but I thought the Bane one looked pretty cool. I think that's going to be sick looking. And then the one that I did on the side, this one here too, that one came out okay. Give you guys a closer look, get the camera focused in. That's what's cool about this paint, this picture paint, man. It glues clear. Got Two-Face right there, Sandman. I like the Joker in the back. I'm going to do a crazy paint job on that. I might do a half and half. I might do like a candy purple, maybe up in the top portion. I might do the candy purple kind of from the top all the way down. And then I might do, I'm thinking of doing white down here on this section and do white up in here. So you see where this piece is right here on the body? Mask this off, do this completely white, okay, do this back piece white, and then do this whole section in here, nothing outside of it, all this candy purple. I think I'm going to do Bane. I might just do it part of the blue, or I might put a reddish color in here too. Maybe I might do part of the hood red and part of it blue. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it, so it's not going to be... I'm going to look around on YouTube and see if I can see. If you guys have any ideas, throw your ideas, man. You guys see this. What colors do you think would go good? I'm open to suggestions, so... anyway, I'm getting excited because I can't wait. And then I got another body coming. I don't know what I'm going to do with the other body. I think I might do a Star Wars one. I really like Star Wars, but I might do either Star Wars villain, or I might just do, all Stormtroopers would be kind of cool. Make it black and white and just have, or the different troopers maybe. I don't know. My brain's going a million miles an hour thinking about that. So I only got about 5 minutes left. So anyway, that's the deal. Techno's ready to rock and roll. That's this ready to rock and roll. So what we were talking about, see how the Muggy Maniac just gets sidetracked really easy? Raja was talking about, and he had some valid points. Now, when you're talking about platforms, I ran a lot of different platforms. My friends have, Kyoshos. I got buddy of mine. I got Hot Bodies. Other guys I know got Associates, Losies. I have, other guys that I know that have other vehicles, okay? But some vehicles make you a better driver. I know for a fact I'm a shitty driver, okay? When I got the Mugen, and then I got the Techno, I mean, even when I got the buggy, I became a way better driver, man. I mean, because I first was driving this big old freaking pig over here, you know, the boat, the beast, you know, the muggy beast over here, you know. This was my first. I'm driving this big old freaking porker over here, so I mean, you don't really have to be good a driver to drive this big old freaking sled over here. So then I started driving this, and man, I got better driving because this thing was more agile. It's a buggy. It handles really well. You know, it was, man, real responsive. And then the next one I got was a Techno, and oh my God, I became like I was a pro. Like this thing made, because it steered so easy, the braking was really smooth, just everything, man. This thing handled like the buggy. And I know I've said that in the past. These Technos handle just like a 8-scale buggy, and it's obviously bigger. So, you know, I mean, some vehicles make you a better driver. Some vehicles are challenging to drive. So I do believe that, you know, sure, if you get a Mugen, doesn't mean you're going to win a world. Just because it wins a world championship, or because Adam wins races, or because, you know, Jared Tebow, which runs Techno now, and Brian Bornhorst, because they win with these platforms, doesn't mean you're going to win. I go by the platform. Sure, it's winning, so why don't I want to take something winning and make it into a basher? Or, you know, why do you think Raja got the Associated? I think he didn't mention that in the video, because he knew Associated was on top. And Associated, all it is a copy of a Mugen anyway. That's why I won't ever buy Associated, because it's a copy of a Mugen. They stole Mugen's technology. Anybody that runs a pillow ball other than Mugen, they stole it from Mugen. Mugen, Seiki is the ones that came up with the pillow balls many, many years ago. Okay? And everybody started copying them because Mugens were doing well, and they always have done well. So, I mean, they say some of the best ideas are stolen from somebody else, right? It's true. So anyway, yeah, so I mean, Raja had a lot of valid points, you know, and as far as, you know, some vehicles aren't going to make you, you know, way better, but, you know, Mugen, I know for a fact, and I've talked to Adam before, they designed Mugens for the average Joe racer. So if you're an average Joe racer, you get a Mugen, man, you're a better driver, like right out of the box. Believe it or not. Trust me, I can attest for that, and I'm not the only one. So that can make the difference from you. And if you're racing, that can make the difference from you finishing, you know, 5th in a you know, B main, or in the top 10 somewhere in the A main. You know, and obviously you want to be in the A main, not the B main. Okay? So anyway, you know, but again, you know, that isn't the case all the time. There is exceptions to the rule also as far as parts availability. I know he talked about that. If they ain't got parts ready available, then I tell guys that when you get stuff that's discontinued and stuff they don't make anymore, you better make sure there's parts out there, or you're going to have a bitch of a problem trying to get them. And that, you know, I'm like Raja. I'm all the way on that. I ain't getting nothing if I can't. I mean, I went through a headache with that thing, with the XTM Mammoth. Man, I had to go all over the world to get parts. That's why I got, you know, and it wasn't a negative, because the good thing that came out of it is I learned how to be really, really, really good at shipping, how to do all that online stuff, and how to look for stuff and buy stuff, and when you have issues and people send you jacked up shit and send you the wrong, and all that. That's why I got really good at it. Because that XTM, man, I was all over the world trying to find parts from Australia, parts from Russia, parts from Siberia. I mean, you name it, I was getting parts for that damn thing. All over the world. So I got really good at it. And I am still good at it. But anyway, the only exception to the rule of Raja said, because every vehicle, no matter what, you're going to break shit. Well, this thing, you're not. I have never broken anything on this. I've had this thing get away from me. When a switch went bad, I didn't get it on video. 50 miles an hour plus, straight into a brick wall. Didn't do anything. Didn't bend the frame. I got a couple dings here and there, and bent the hinge pins, yes. No broken arms, no nothing. This thing is a freaking bulletproof. Mugens are the same way. I've ran this thing, same thing, had a switch went out, this thing got away, hit like a side of a tree, and didn't do nothing. This didn't even bend nothing. And didn't bend any hinge pins at all. Same thing with the buggy. I mean, Mugens, I can tell you, in Technos, are tanks. But I've broken stuff on the Mugens. I've never broken anything on this Techno. These things are almost hard to destroy. And I've talked to a lot of aftermarket manufacturers like King Heads and MRC2 and all these companies that make aftermarket upgrades and hop-ups for truggies. They hate Techno. They don't make a lot of stuff for Techno because Techno doesn't break anything. They told me that. That's just not me saying that. I talked to racers and guys that race Techno and guys from the Techno company. They run them stock. I mean, as far as the plastics and everything, right out of the box. And no problem. And those guys, they never break shit either. I mean, they're very, 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 you gotta like literally like run this thing over with a tank to break it. And I know plenty of guys that have raced Technos before and got tangled up with Mugens, Losis, Associateds, Kyoshos, Hot Bodies. All of those that they got tangled up with, guys with the Technos, didn't break nothing. All the other ones always broke something. I'm talking full speed, flying around a track, and go right into this driver's stand or whatever there. Right into the wood side. Techno's still going, nothing broken. Losi, Associated, all those, busted shit. These things are crazy, man. I mean, if you guys seen them, you've seen it, right? Look at the arms on these things. Come on, man. These are solid. You couldn't break these things with a sledgehammer. I mean, you could, but you know what I mean. This thing's a tank, man. So, and I got a whole box of parts that when I got it to build almost another one, and I've never had to use anything because I never break anything. So, anyway, there is exceptions to the rule. That's an exception, the Techno, but the rule is, like Raja said, you are going to break shit. So make sure you get something, like he said, that's got parts available. So anyway, last but not least, I'm going to end this video real soon because I got shit to do. Shout out to, Whipkey, doing his thing. I give all the other shots, and I give shouts out not only to the OGs and the guys that have been helping me since I've been doing this, and the guys that have a lot more experience than me, but also to the newbies, man. Newbies like Whipkey and Mr. Vincent there. Mr. Vincent, man, this guy is like, these guys are going all in, man. And that's what I'm talking about. Go big, or, they say go big or go home. Go big or go fucking E-word. That's my attitude. Go big in Nitro, or go do some E-word, man. Don't waste your time or your money, okay? Leave it for the people that want to be serious and get full into Nitro and just do nothing but Nitro, man. Okay? So anyway, Vincent has an issue. Raja hit on it. A couple people hit up on it, alright? Now, I've watched so many videos, and I've had that issue before. Now, Raja that could be one of the problems. Your idle screw. The way you set your idle, so if you don't have a micrometer, okay, which you probably don't, but I suggest you get one. Go to Harbor Freight. They're like what? I think they're like 20 bucks. Or less. I got this one on sale, 10 bucks. I need to go get me another one. Anyway, the way to set the idle gap in your carburetor, okay, is paperclip. A paperclip is exactly 0.05 millimeters. See this paperclip? Take your venturi out. Put this in here, close it till it touches it, and make sure you're able to pull it out. Okay, that's 0.05 millimeters. Now, some motors they're gonna want a little bit more. Never really any less. Usually, sometimes a little bit more. But anyway, if that's cool and your idle's cool, what's happening is your low end needle is really lean. When it runs like that, runs on, and it speeds up. If it's not the idle, it's your low speed needle. It's too lean, and all you got to do to richen it is your low speed needle. To richen, you're going to go counterclockwise. Okay, remember, clockwise on both the low end needle and your high end needle. Clockwise is lean, counterclockwise is rich. Okay, So while it's running, like you did your running thing, take the, if long as the idle gap and your idle is fine, if it still doesn't, it should, wheels, it should just roll barely, really slow. Okay, like Roger said, you put it down there, it's not moving, but I like to set my shit so when I get on it, and when I have it on the box or on the stand, and I go whap, whap, you'll see in my videos, if you hit your brake even, and once you let off your brake, it starts rolling again, it's either your idle or it's your low end needle. Okay, so check those two. If it's your low end needle, while it's running, okay, just turn it counterclockwise with little tiny increments until it'll stop rolling, and then give it some gas. Wing, wing, hit the brake, and then you're going to want to run it too. When you run it, and you run it around, and you bring it in, and you brake it, and as soon as you hit the brakes, after running it, if the idle goes up high, it's still too lean. Okay, you want that idle to drop down. As long as it's under 10 seconds, doesn't have to be right away, as long as it does drop down within 10 seconds, you're good. So anyway, that's the tip I got for you, Mr. Vincent. As far as your servos, a lot of times, if that noise doesn't go away, like Raja was saying, your endpoints, sometimes if your endpoints are still too much, they'll make that buzzing sound until you... That's how I set my endpoints. Like say my steering, I turn the steering and the steering on your control all the way to whatever direction, and I'll increase the steering until I hear the noise, and then once I hear the noise, then I'll back it off until the noise stops. As soon as the noise stops, that's a good place to set your endpoint. That way, because when it's making that noise, it means it's stressing the servo. It's too much. So you just want to make it a little till it stops. And that goes on your throttle too. When you break your throttle and it's making that, you get it to make that noise, which means your throttle's nice and, it's open all the way or whatever, wherever you adjust it to. You also want to adjust the endpoint so it doesn't make that noise. And when you brake it too. When you hit the brakes, okay, and you turn it so the brakes are nice and tight and you hear the buzzing sound, then start backing it off till the buzzing goes away. That's usually a place, that way you're not stressing out your servos. So that's the whole thing of the endpoints. But anyway, that's all I got. 36 minutes, around 6 minutes more than I wanted to. But anyway, I got this surround sound thing that my mom gave me and my daughter, my new laptop, and I got stuff that I got to do with this. This is ready to rock and roll. I just got to set, matter of fact, I got to set my endpoints on this and get this thing ready. So it's ready to get brapping tomorrow. Nothing's going on with that until that dries. I'm going to think about what colors I want to do on that. So that's about it. Muggy's chilling over there. I got some clutches that I'm pre-assembling, some other 4-shoe clutches that I'm setting up so I have. And other than that, that's about it. I'm going to continue to watch some old school John Bodegel videos. Shout out to everybody again, all you newbies that are putting in the work and putting in the time. And, just remember, man, when you're not running your shit, set your piston, bottom, dead center. Don't jack up your motor. Put some after run juice, some muggy juice, whatever you want in there, so your piston doesn't get stuck. So that's all I got, people. Happy Easter if I don't see you guys till then, or you guys see a video. Maybe I'll get, by the time the video gets up there, that'll be my Easter gift to all you guys. A nice, killer, 100% real in the field brap video, maybe 2, from the Muggy. We're going to get the Techno just getting nasty, okay? No veracity modified, got Pico on there, 41032 header. We're just going to try to kill the Techno. Because the Technos just can't be killed, but Muggy's going to get out there and try. We're going to see if it can do some backflips and shit too. So anyway, that's all I got, people. Peace out.